What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Venomcast. I'm your host, the one and only John K. Down below me, my good friend and co-host for this week, sort of back from vacation, but we'll let him have another episode of vacation. Kyle Zittle. So I am joined by Luke Peterson.
What's up?
Luke's good people to have, and today's guest, the one and only Officer Eric Breeding, Deputy Sheriff or something like that. No, that's not right. I have your business card, but
you got it.
Eric, Deputy Sheriff was right.
Yes, sir.
Hey, look at me go. Deputy Sheriff of Buchanan County in Virginia, Mr. Eric Breeding. So, if you get a speeding ticket on pit road, that guy did it.
Chief Deputy, by the way.
Chief Deputy. My bad.
There it is.
I have an old business card. I'm just surprised I got it anywhere near correct.
What was impressive was he didn't even have a red Solo cup. He had a back of the blue Solo cup. Those got to be custom, right?
Yes.
Back to blue, baby.
That's right.
So notorious, not notorious, really. Just every week, Eric has the thin blue line, number 26 Ford F-150. Sometimes it's the Chiquita Banana Ford F-150. It's
the best truck that we have.
Also, the head of Punisher Graphics. Honestly, like, some of the best damn paints in the league, I can't lie. They are way better than mine. Not that I ever thought mine were anywhere near the top, but, like, man, I think you give Corey some serious competition. I don't even know who else paints in the league. Andy, I guess, but, man. Got some good looking rides. I
tell you, sometimes I enjoy painting just about as much as I enjoy racing. I don't know, it's fun.
Yeah, and it's kind of funny because maybe not with your job title, I suppose. Some people may not have you pegged as like the creative type, we'll call it. So when you were like, yeah, I made my own paint, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what do you mean you made your own paint? It's like, what in the heck? And then you pulled it. I was like, whoa. You've got some serious chops. The attention to detail, I think, is the best thing. There's so many little things on your trucks that people don't notice that are just chef's kiss.
So for every paint that you see, there's probably 10 paints that you don't see because I get on there and just screw around and see what I can make. And the Chiquita Banana one, actually, I never intended on running it. I was just goofing off. I thought, hey, what would be cool with a yellow truck? And I got on there one day and just screwing around, made one. I was like, well, that looks pretty decent, and decided to run it. I didn't think it would take off like it did. And that was, I think, season 7. I didn't run it in season 8, and I ran it again here in season 9.
Season 7, it got robbed in the paint scheme bracket. Tommy was pissed.
That's right. So much so that we have a whole campaign for it now. How many
yes.
How many paint schemes do you have in Victory Lane this year so far? Because I know I'm one of them. Am I the only one?
Let's see.
There's been 8 unique winners. I know Slosser won. Slosser runs his standard one. John, the truck you ran when you won.
Josh, no. Ryan, no. Luke, yes, you. Hayden, no. Jeremy, no.
Oh, Jeremy wouldn't run the one you painted. Dang.
I painted the one Jeremy did.
I've not painted one for Jeremy.
I painted one for Jeremy.
Andy. Zittle's wild turkey truck was that he won at Bristol with. I painted it. It was
we got to see the Victory Lane of that one.
Yeah, that was a truck you had run a while back.
Yeah,
a bad looking truck.
It was beautiful. As much as I wanted to win that race, I was happy Zittle put that paint in Victory Lane, and Zittle being in Victory Lane, obviously.
No, John, you're wrong. Your paint job that you won in, I painted.
That's what I said.
Oh, I thought you said you painted it. I forgot. That was the raincars.com, wasn't it?
I won in the scheme you painted.
Painted. Those were more like templates.
Jeremy won in the one I painted. I painted that for Jeremy, and he won it.
That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm just off the top of my head. The Bloomquist trucks, I know you made those happen. Not like obviously didn't have time to do all the decal work and stuff, but you still put those on the truck. They looked fantastic. My Navy truck I ran at Dover 3 seasons ago for a military appreciation race. Absolutely beautiful. I love that. It's still in my iRacing thing. I could run it again sometime. It is such a beautiful truck. Gosh, I feel
I've
like
done
you.
Ziddle. I've done Ziddle's Coast Guard truck
The
that year
Coast
because
Guard truck.
Yeah,
I was on the fence on whether I should run that one or not, and I had an Army truck that I really liked too, so I end up running it, and Ziddle run the Coast Guard truck.
I feel like there's another paint that I have that you painted for me that I ran, but I can't remember off the top of my head. I'm literally looking through my trading paints right now.
Um,
My one for this season is the first one I got in paint, and it is funny. You were talking about it earlier. It's easy to stereotype the country guy that isn't going to be good on the computer with like Photoshop or whatever you use to make your paint schemes with. So when Eric came out with like his first super kick truck when we were teammates, and I paint my own stuff a lot. I had been working for a long time. I felt like my stuff is basic but okay. And Eric comes out with his first super kick truck, and I'm like, man, where'd you get that? And he's like, oh, I painted it. I'm like, no, you didn't. And he's like, yeah, I really did. And I'm like, well, shit. I need to sit down with this man and learn what he does because it's voodoo magic, man. The number patterns that you use, and I think for me, the biggest thing with Eric is how he spec maps cars.
Yeah.
The way you spec map things and match mats with chromes and the entire truck, it just makes them pop. I love it. I mean, my truck this year is probably the first truck I've run the same truck that many times in a row.
so the spec map thing took me forever to figure out. A lot of trial and error, and a lot of crappy looking trucks come out of the spec map. But once I started figuring out the differences between the rough texture and the shiny texture, and the hash values you can put with it to make it contrast against each other, then I got to figuring out how I can apply that to a truck to make it, like you said, pop. So yeah, I still, just about every truck that I paint, I still see flaws and things I wished I could fix. But to me, I've not painted a perfect truck. There's some that still has flaws and some things that I'd like to do different, but I just don't know how to do it differently.
I feel that. Every time I finish a paint, I'll like run it and I'll see it on the broadcast and I'll notice like something and I'm like, or it'll be in practice and I'm like, I'm not going to fix that. I'm too lazy. There is a paint
I don't
scheme.
know.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I don't know if you've noticed. Don is running a truck, Southern Craft. Have you seen it? I think he's run it 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I've seen the Southern Craft truck. That's the barbecue place y'all's way, right?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I have seen it. I was trying to think.
Yeah. On the screen when I'm painting it on GIMP, it looks okay, but when you put it on the track, it doesn't. It looks like crap. And I've sent it to Jan, and I've apologized 2 or 3 times because I just don't think it's a good looking truck to my standards. If you look at it on GIMP, you're like, yeah, that looks good. But when you try to apply it to the track, it's not that great. So I've apologized to him, and I told him, I said, I'm going to make a truck to make up for truck. So I'm in the process now of making a 6-value truck for him, and it's going to be it's going to kind of be a subdued gray and white and black camo type truck. So
Ooh, that's gonna look good. Yeah, I have a paint that I'm very excited to run, but because I can't get over this whole, I've won like all the races I've won. I say that like I've won a lot, but 11, 12, 11 or 8. Oh yeah, sorry. Never won in the same paint scheme. I just want to get over. I just want to win in the same paint scheme like twice. Every win's been in a different paint scheme, and it's really bugged me. But I just want to get that like knocked out because there's a paint scheme that I want to run so bad, and I'm saving it, and I can't run it until I put the same scheme that I've already won in Victory Lane again. So, but I promise you that scheme, fire. One of my favorite ones I've painted. And like some of the things I had to do to make it work, I was like, yeah, you know what? I should be proud of this. I don't care. Like I've looked and I'm like, yeah, that's not quite perfect, but I don't care at this point. It's done. It's not getting fixed again. I'm not touching it.
I'm excited for my latest JK truck still. I've got him
JK.
painting Long John Silvers, man. It's going to be great.
Yeah, that'll get done. That'll get done at some point.
That wood grain.
Jesus. There's it's funny you mentioned a truck for Jan. I have to finish a truck for Jan also. I sent it to him once and there was some stuff we decided to change that I was already like halfway wanting to change, but I just haven't gotten to do it yet. It's been back to work and busy again, so it's been kind of nice. But I haven't got to finish the paint, so that's whatever. But yeah, so Eric, one of the top painters, Chiquita Banana was robbed. I'm excited to see what other stuff you come out with. I know for the Bristol Dirt Race, there is a very special scheme that you're running that I'm very proud of because I painted it. It's very, very personal scheme, and I hope there's not many people that are really gonna understand how much trouble I went through to paint that paint, but Eric knows, and I made it look as close to the real thing as possible. So I'm super pumped to get through this Nashville race so we can drop those because those. Oh, yeah, it looks kind of rough on the computer, but there's yeah,
just a little sneak peek.
Just a little sneak peek. It doesn't look like that much on the computer, but there's a lot. Don't worry about what's going on there. That's the producer talking to me. There's a lot going on with that paint that is very awesome. Very excited to have pictures of that paint come out. Eric can talk about it if he wants. I'm gonna save mine. Mine's a secret still, but Eric can talk about that a little bit if he wants to, because yeah, let's talk about you, Eric. The kind of racing you like to do, or the kind of racing you like to watch. We can start there, and then we'll talk about like how you got into iRacing and stuff. If you want to explain to the people why that paint is so important, or yeah, important. Important's a good word.
So, I guess the type of racing that I like and how I got into iRacing is kind of all the same story. Ever since I was born, my dad would take me to racetracks. He never was a racer. We was always a fan. Never had the money to pour into a race car, but that's okay. We still got to enjoy the burnt rubber and the smoke and the blown engines from the stands. But I remember a story that my mom tells that I was still an infant at less than 6 months old, and we was sitting in the stands at a local dirt track just a couple miles, or about 30 minutes down the road here. That was the closest dirt track to us at the time, and it's been closed several years now. But yeah, I pretty much grew up in racing. Going to Bristol until they started televising, until ESPN put it on TV. Never missed a Winston Cup race there. At the time, it was Winston Cup. So ever since I can remember, I was at a racetrack somewhere. Got a couple of local short tracks that we would go to. And a lot of the tracks around here are dirt tracks. So that's what we would go to, is the dirt tracks. And kind of got a love for late model racing that way. And now one of the closest tracks that we can go to, which I think is going through some financial problems right now, is Volunteer Speedway, which is the home of Scotty Bloomquist. Of course, we lost Scotty last year in a plane crash. So I grew up watching Scott at this dirt track and became a fan. And of course, everybody knows how Scott did across the country, and was you either loved him or hated him, but because he was a hometown or local boy to us, we loved him. And so I'm a huge Scott Bloomquist fan. And that's why we ran the trucks there at Bristol. And that's what we're going to do this year for the dirt track race at Bristol. As far as iRacing, I always grew up with a computer playing NASCAR. Had the old Papyrus game. Had the NASCAR. What was it? NASCAR 20 or NASCAR. What was that one of those early ones that really got everybody into sim racing? The
NR 2003.
I think that's the big one.
NR 2003. So I had it, and obviously, also growing up, you was always listening to the NASCAR race or watching the NASCAR race on TV at home when I was living with mom and dad, and that just kind of ingrained with me. A lot of families, they go to baseball games. A lot of families likes to watch basketball. A lot of families is into football. My dad was into racing, and and we still are. And so by default, when computer technology caught up that you can sim race, started sim racing. And I think I've been on iRacing for 13 or 14 years now. We'd have to go look and see when I signed up, but hell, maybe even longer. I don't know. And so I started doing that mainly for the circle tracks, the oval tracks. And when I get into it, I realize, hey, I kind of like these road course races too. So I started doing a lot of road course racing, actually probably more than the oval track stuff. It just kind of went from there. Some years I raced more than others before I got into Venom. I'd race more officials certain years because of things that was going on in life. I couldn't race a whole lot, but when Venom come along, that's pretty much all I do now. I don't do a whole lot of official races at all.
I think so obviously I knew this. I'm teammates. I've been teammates with Eric for
Since the beginning, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I spent my first season on KBI, but then which would have been 2021. So yeah, almost I'd say literally 3 years we've been teammates. That blew my mind. I think we were practicing for a road course somewhere. I want to say it was freaking Mosport, but I don't think it was. It was something before that. I would have to really look.
By the way, is one of my favorite road course tracks. But go ahead.
Yeah. Gosh, man, where I have to go look. But it blew my mind.
I think it was Mosport because it happened to me too. I had just joined Superkick in season 6 and we ran Mosport, and Garrett went, I'm like, man, Eric's fast. And he's like, yeah, he's fast. He's a road course racer. And I'm like,
yeah,
nah, he ain't. And he's like, yes, he is. Go look at his stats. And I was like, and me and him ran dead together. I have some of my first backgrounds is me and him doing a burnout at Mosport on the front stretch because we finished 5th and 6th.
Oh, you know what it made?
You say he's a road course racer, go look at his stats until the last 2 seasons, and it's like, yeah.
It may have been, it was either Twin Ring Motegi or the Daytona road course the first time around in season 4. It was one of those two that we were practicing. We put up a team practice, and Eric freaking was blowing people's doors off. I was like, God dang, man, the hell you holding out on us? And Eric was like, no, I've road course raced. That's how I'd spend a lot of my time on iRacing. I was like, what the hell? Completely blew my mind. One of my first memories since Luke brought it up, one of my first memories of racing with EB was Dover, season 2. Yeah, that race was horrible. If you were there, if you weren't, 20 mile per hour winds are horrible. The truck was terrible, terribly tight on the exit of 4. Like, it was so bad. But me and Eric were racing each other, and I'm still relatively new to racing with like a wheel and pedals and stuff. I had a little Thrustmaster T150, and Eric had, I don't even know what you had, but you said it was old. Like, it was super old and wore out, because we were side by side. We came off of 2. I think I was sideways, and we were going down the backstretch, like, weaving like this with trying not to hit each other, because we were both just out of control. And I was like, sorry about almost hitting you. And you're like, my wheel is so worn out. Like, it's an old rubber band wheel or something like that. And you're like, it is so worn out. Like, I'm surprised I didn't wipe us both out.
It was one of the old G25s. I mean, they had a later
29 now.
model that was a 27. And then you say a 29 now?
I have a 29 now.
Okay, this thing was already like 15 years old. That's what I used on the Papyrus. Okay, just to stay straight, I had to keep doing that right there, just to stay a straight line, and it still made the truck do that. So yeah, it was wore out, and Nathan kind of talked me into getting the Alpha Mini, and I have to say that was a good purchase. I'm glad I did that. But yeah, they're the first couple of seasons in Venom. I was an arrow without feathers because I couldn't keep it straight. I mean, it wasn't me. It was just a daggone wheel. It just would not. I couldn't keep it straight.
See, and that's what I find funny, because I've always revered you as like one of the cleanest racers. You know, when you're around Eric, you're in good hands. Sometimes
we need an all-state truck.
There has been times.
That was me. I was all-state for like 2 seasons.
Yeah.
Horrible. Worst nickname ever.
All-state John K.
I'd say there's a couple of members out there would say,
I honestly, like, the biggest problem I hear, people love racing Eric. The biggest problem I've heard is, like, sometimes you'll like randomly blink. Like, if you have bad weather or something up on top of that mountain, get a little bit of internet connection issues. But other than that, like, as we get a beautiful view.
I mean, he was talking about being on the service for 15 years.
Yeah.
I can remember how bad because me and where Eric lives now is pretty close to where I grew up. We had good internet there that long. So you were racing on some questionable internet to start with, I imagine, because I can remember those days of dial-up, shoot, even till like the mid-2000s, trying to just pray the internet would work.
So up until about maybe 3 years ago, I've got fiber optic now, but it's still not the greatest. But up until then, I had this weird internet setup. We got a company nearby that I'm friends with the owner, and my internet was actually radio based, radio waved.
What the hell?
Bounce. It would bounce off one of the other mountains. I don't ask me. I'm not technical. It's
oh my goodness!
Out, and there was a low band radio that shipped the internet to me, and it was the latency was horrible. But if I was going to have high speed internet, that's what I had to have. So yeah, and I still have issues. I think the other night I was asking somebody if there's anything I can do on my end as far as my computer to try to clear some of those up. But yeah, I blink, and I wished I knew how to fix that, but I'm not that tech savvy. So
that's insane.
That's wild.
Mountain internet.
Hey man, you learned some stuff back mistakes. You got to make it work.
Jesus Christ. I don't even know where to go from that. So
hey, up here we do what we got to do to survive. Okay,
that's right. Do what you got to do.
Y'all know that song that Hank wrote. Yeah, it's about this guy.
Country boy can't survive. That's right.
That's right.
Literally the other day he hopped in Discord and he goes, so I have a friend, and we're like, oh, that's nice. We're glad you made a friend, Eric. And he goes, yeah, he's black, and we're all like, it's okay that he's black. And then you were like, I'm not finished. He's black with a white stripe. And we were all like, oh, not a good kind of friend. God, that's going to get me in some hot water. That was good, though. Oops.
So,
Anyways, but we're
so
like, the options you gave us for how to take care of this varmint was incredible. That was probably the most fun practice we've had in a while.
So we here on the in the breeding Ponderosa, we have had a problem the last month or so with
Ponderosa? Wouldn't you eat it?
And
well, I guess you can, but
oh man.
And you know, I don't mind it so much that we have skunks because we've got, you name it, we've got it. We've got possums, we got coyotes, we got, you know, you just name it, we've got squirrels, deer, turkey. I mean, you look out my yard, you see it all the time.
Wild turkey.
But now a skunk.
No, that's in the house.
We got two different kinds. We got two different kinds of turkey up here. Okay, we got the one that gobbles and the one that makes you gobble. So my fear with the skunks is one morning I'm going to be bopping off the porch and one's going to sit there and spray me and I'm going to smell like shit for the next 3 days. All right. So I put a live cage out to trap this thing and I tried to shoot it a couple of times. And this particular skunk, for whatever reason, was very skittish. So every time I would touch the door to try to get out of it with my shotgun,
shit.
It would take off. I mean, it wouldn't even. I couldn't even get around the corner here to get a shot on it. And so I put a live cage out, and lo and behold, caught the damn thing. And then my next question was, what the hell am I going to do with it now?
You just have a bet.
I mean, are you going to shoot it in the cage? Or you, I mean, try to move it, you're going to get sprayed. What do you do now?
Gas it.
I was about to say my personal favorite was gas it.
Yeah.
So that was my first inclination. Is I was pretty sure I can get a cover over it, get a hose, put it on the end of my side by side, carbon monoxide it. You know, let it fall asleep and go into skunk heaven.
That's a pretty peaceful way to go. I mean, all things considered for an animal.
Yeah, I thought that was a humane way. You know, it would just fall asleep. There we go. But I started watching some YouTube videos, and there was some guys on there that successfully transported skunks. And contrary to popular belief, I just don't want to kill everything. All right, so
contrary to popular belief.
So I put a tarp over him. He didn't spray. I picked him up, put him in the back of the truck bed, took him about 10 miles to a different ridge, went up to the top, found a secluded spot, and let him go. So he's still alive. But the other morning, about 5, it was Monday morning or Tuesday morning, about 5:30, the wife got me out of bed and said, there's another skunk in the yard. And I was like, son of a bitch. I wasn't in no mood to mess with it. So that one met the end of the barrel of the shotgun business end. So.
The thing we haven't considered here is that Neo, and did Neo work his way all the way back from the 10-mile away ridge to come back home to Eric only to be killed?
So what'd you say, Neo?
Yeah, like the Matrix. You know, he was dodging bullets to start this story.
I thought you said Neo.
No, Neo.
No. The first skunk we had was nicknamed Pepe. I nicknamed him Pepe.
Okay.
So,
as you do, as one does.
No, I mean, fair.
Pepe Le Pew. Pepe Le Pew, you know.
Yeah.
But no, this was a different one. This was definitely a different one.
You can tell by the colors.
Yeah, his pattern on his pelt was different. So
I know that was the thing. Thought they all looked the same.
Are we getting a skunk coon cap though? You had a clean pelt. I'm just curious.
No.
I don't know, Luke. He said the business end of a shotgun. I don't know if there's much left of the bastard.
Hey man, you get creative again.
Eric's over here like every time I go to get my gun, this little bastard run away. He was awfully skittish. Well, yeah, Jesus Christ! If somebody was shooting at me, I'd be skittish too. God dang!
That was the first one. The second one wasn't skittish. When I walked out on the porch with the gun, he just looked at me and said, "What the hell are you doing?" He just went back to do what he's doing.
That some bitch didn't know any better.
What I'm doing.
He didn't talk to his buddy. He's like, "Yeah, little friggin' Pepe didn't come home last night. I'm gonna go check this house out." Shut it. Oh shit! Now I know what happened to Pepe.
Oh
Figured it
man.
out.
No wonder he didn't come home. Little does
we
he
were-
know, Pepe's working his way back home. Be like, "Hey Jeff, you're not gonna believe it. He just let me go."
He shot my ass.
We're talking about Eric's ingenuity, and it brings me back to his microphone setup.
Oh,
That's what I always remember
that's
about him.
great.
That dang like wire hangered microphone he's
Do you
described.
still have that?
Yeah, why do you think he's talking to us outside?
That's
I just
amazing.
about used it for this broadcast. I just about tried to set it up on my computer.
Well, that's why I was because you used it last time. I think this isn't the first time Eric's been on the podcast, but we still had to do the origin story and stuff again because people are new. You're always talking to a new audience. Yeah, I mean that thing is incredible. It is, man, it would make an engineer proud. I mean, it does. Luke's an engineer, kind of.
It makes me proud.
Yeah.
I'm a rock engineer, but still.
Same thing.
So basically, instead of having your normal, like you got,
Earmuffs.
John, the earmuffs with the mic that comes across. When I first started in Venom, and we need to get to that story here in a minute, and I got to give Nathan the props that's due. But I didn't have one of those earmuffs, speaker, whatever the hell you call them. So what I did have was one of these lapel mics that has a USB port or USB connection that you can plug in. So I plugged it in, and hell, it worked at the microphone. But putting it right here, nobody could hear me. So I had some old wire hangers in my closet. So I cut one up, bent it to where it goes around my neck, bent one end of it up, clipped that mic on the end, and that's what I use to this day.
It's fantastic.
I'm just,
It's so
I'm just
good.
picturing like some cult leader in the 70s, like, yeah, my lapel mic don't work. We're gonna take some hangers and wire this some bitch up so I can talk to people. Just hold it right there.
Eric Breeding, cult leader.
Hey man, I follow him.
Cult leader of the Wild Turkeys.
Again, when you're in the sticks, you got to do what you got to do to survive, brother.
That's right. That's right.
So how did you get into Venom? You mentioned Nathan. We all know who Nathan is. Nathan the GOAT, 4-time champ, about 180 race wins.
If there's anybody in this watching this that doesn't know who Nathan Reynolds is, then you need to quit Venom right now. I do what?
So that's fair.
Yeah. So I've known Nathan since he was born. Me and him share a common uncle and aunt. My mother's sister married his mom's brother. So we're not blood relatives, but it's almost like first cousins. So and you've got to know this family, the husband or my aunt and uncle are like second parents to me. Very close. I'm close with their kid. I'm an only child. Their child was an only child, so we think of each other as brother and sister. We're close like that. And so Nathan was obviously close to the family too. So I've known him since he was born. I mean, we went to the lake, we went camping, everything as he was growing up. So I've known him since a toddler. And of course, I've been in iRacing for years, and I never actually personally knew anybody that I raced. Around here, you just don't hear of it. And I remember there was one night that, and all of you know, I don't have Facebook. I don't get into the drama and the bull crap that goes on Facebook. So, but my wife does, and she was scrolling through, and she's like, Nathan's iRacing now, because he had posted something on his page or something, and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And I think I reached out to him and talked to him a little bit about that. I can't exactly remember, but there was one day we was out the lake. My dad's got a pontoon out at one of the local lakes here, and a lot of times on the weekends we'll go out there for the weekend. And we was just out puttering around on the lake, and we was passing another boat, and I heard it, and I looked over, and it was Nathan, his wife, and the kids with his mom and dad. So we pulled up next to each other, and we sit there and talked for about an hour. And Nathan's like, "Yeah, I'm getting ready to go home this evening and practice." And I think at the time it was the ASLR, the other one he was
Oh,
racing.
AMS, Anarchy. Yeah,
AMS, yeah.
AMS.
He was racing the AMS, and he's like, "You should race with us." Well, I have never been the type to be on a league or a team, or I'm just a lone wolf that would go out and do my own thing. And I was like, okay, well, I got a lot of stuff to do this evening. We got to put the boat up, and I got to drive home. And so afterwards, my wife's like, "You should hop on there and race with him." I was like, I've just never been, it's never been that type. And I got home that evening, and she kept telling me, "You should do this. You should do this." So I got on there and I raced with him, and it was all right. It was really awkward for me to actually be talking to somebody during a race, because he had to step me through. I think at the time we was using team speak or team chat. What's it called?
Team speak.
It wasn't team speak, and it was really awkward for me to actually be talking. And I think that's what carries on even to today, where I don't say a whole lot while I'm in Discord or anything. That's just, to me, that's a foreign concept. And anyways, I done a few races through that, and he was telling me, he's like, "Hey, I'm a part of this league, bunch of cool guys. It's a truck series league. They run on Tuesday nights." He told me all about some of the guys. He's like, "Won't you come over and race with us?" And was it halfway through season 1 or season 2? I can't remember, but
I feel
I
like
can't
it
remember.
was. I think it was partway through because we raced together all of season 2. So I'm pretty sure you joined like halfway through season 1 or something.
Yeah, I think it was halfway through season 1. I missed like the first 3, 4, 5 races. I can't remember, but he kept hounding me, and I was like, "All right, I'll try for a race or two." Again, I wasn't looking to dedicate myself into being a part of something every week. And I raced the first couple of races with him, and thought, hey, this is pretty cool. And now 9 seasons later, I'm still here. He's been retired for a couple of seasons, and um, I'm still here. And
What a
I
bastard!
couldn't imagine little bastard. I couldn't imagine not being a part of the league. It's actually it's gotten to be a stress relief for me. Um, my wife heavily encourages me to practice and participate in the league, because I ain't gonna lie. Here about 2 or 3 years ago, going through a rough patch, I was like, why do I even do it? Why do I put in time for practice? Take 2/3 hours out on a Tuesday evening to finish 28th. It's what's in it. And I got reminded that it's not about. It is about the competition. It is about trying to win, but it's about being with you guys, and it's about having a couple hours on a Tuesday evening that I don't have to worry about the homicide case that we're working, or the missing person case that we're working, or the the bad fatality car wreck that we worked that day. It's for a couple hours a night. I'm a big time racer. You know, that's
Yep.
Hell
I
yeah.
can pretend to be Mark Martin. So
Sure.
that's 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 why I do it. Stay in it. I got into it for Nathan. I've made some really good friends. I hope we get into the Bristol Boys conversation here after a while, but that just solidified why I stay in Venom. And I don't know. It's a good. It's just a good stress relief. It's a good time to just let go and not worry about real world for a couple hours. And I just love all you guys. I get pissed off at some of you guys at some points, but by 11:30, I'm over it. So it's
Hey,
that's
man.
that there it is.
Hey,
I
man, it
don't know if he
happens.
knows this, but I come on in season 5 because I'm the transplant, and I get invited by Garrett to join Super Kick in season 6. And the only reason I came on, first thing to build off that, is Nathan. I start watching Nathan on YouTube. I've never done any of this. And Nathan, I start cutting up with him a little bit, and all of a sudden we're talking. And all of a sudden, hey man, you should come run this league. It'd be fun. We do it every Tuesday night. It's a lot more fun than running officials and all that mess we normally do. You need to come check this out. So I came, did my season with Raging Moose. I love the sergeants. I've talked about them a lot, but that is not a chat. Paul doesn't say a word. And Kevin was really busy. Kevin had a lot of real life stuff going on at that time. So it was very, not boring in the sense that I didn't enjoy racing, but it was not very community based.
Right.
And I got invited to join Super Kick. And he's like, we're bringing on Nathan. We're going to put you on Super Kick. Nathan is bringing this guy named Eric Breeden with him. It's his best friend. Y'all will get along. It'll be great. Just get to know him. And then it was me, you, Vires, and
Yep.
Carson. And after
Yep.
like the third race of the year, Carson quit. And after like the fourth or fifth of the year, Vires quit. And it was me and you. Now we're in the group with everybody else, but it was me and you on Super Kick that whole season. And
I
we
remember
made the joke earlier about Canadian Tire, but man, it was nice to race with somebody who I could cut up with a little bit, but was also really talented. And like I felt like I felt like every week I learned a lot from you of just being smart and consistent and staying out of trouble and not doing dumb stuff like I don't know the other guys in this chat would do, but like just being a good consistent
fuck?
driver.
The fuck
and
do I
I
do?
know, but
I'm just glad
and
you
all,
didn't join. I'm just glad you didn't join season 8.
but in all seriousness, it was just a cool team dynamic, and it actually felt like a community that I was driving in instead of just something I showed up on Tuesday nights and spent 2 hours doing. So it was really cool. And it's cool to hear how your story ties in like that, where it's almost like the same thing. You didn't really want to do it, and it became a huge community thing that's just something you enjoy doing now. Also, the chemtrails are going over him now. That's what he's checking on.
Well, no, I just had a big gust of wind. I was just making sure that I wasn't going to get hit by a limb or anything. You can't hear that on the audio, can you?
No,
Can't hear
no,
it.
no.
I mean, seriously, look at this. Look at this crap. Watch them trees, man.
Yeah, I've been
They're moving.
watching the trees move. I think this is just showing me, honestly, I don't give a damn if you got a webcam or not. If you have a cell phone, you're coming on the fucking Venomcast.
Yeah, you're good to go.
Because
That's all you need.
your
Why do you
phone,
need something expensive like a damn webcam? You don't need that.
your phone's
You got a
worked
phone.
great.
Everybody's got a damn phone.
Some stats I want to talk about. Obviously, I got to race with Eric starting in season 3. I mean, outside of Paul, really, that team I was on my first season, there was a lot of promises made that were never delivered on. And when I joined RNS Superkick, Nathan obviously was the big reason why I ended up coming over. He invited me over, but and I thought, I was like, okay, well, I'll learn stuff from Nathan and I'll race with everybody else and blah blah blah. And I've learned so much from so many people. And Eric is the one that's like, he's taught me like little things that I'm like, I don't even really think about it until like you're one of the like, other than Paul, you might be the most calm person ever. Like no matter what happens, and I strive for that. So I fail so bad, but that's what I strive for because like. I mean, it helps so much just to stay calm and cool and collected, and I race so much better when I am, even though I do have a tendency to get a little fired up. But I mean, there's
Really?
it's a yeah, oh yeah, it's a long list, but
Never
I mean
noticed.
that's that's one of the big things that's honestly helped. So like, uh, very thankful for you. Some stats I finally figured out how to pull up people's career stats. 117 starts in Venom, and again, this might only be from whenever we started using SimRacer Hub. I don't think that it is, but 117 starts, which is fourth most in league history. 6 top fives, 31 top tens, 12,000 laps ran. Pretty incredible.
I
That's
didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the fourth most starts in league history.
Yep. Paul Ellison has 122. Andy has 128, and Jan has 131.
See, I didn't realize it till this season. Paul took a new job, and he hadn't. This is the first year he's actually missed a Venom race.
Yeah, it's insane, honestly.
Him and Jan were like the two Iron Men, right? Because I knew Jan had a long run too.
Yep. Yeah, it's
crazy.
I mean, I knew Eric was up there, but fourth most is friggin' nuts. I don't even remember the last time you missed a race. Honestly, it's been a while. Thankfully,
I've not missed any this season. Last season, I missed a couple, and it's not so much. I think I had to miss one for a vacation last year in October, and I think I missed one because you guys, like a bunch of dumbasses, scheduled the start, the beginning race in the middle of hunting season, deer hunting season.
I didn't do that.
There it is.
That ain't gonna happen. But I missed that one. But now every once in a while I'll have to miss a race. It's not scheduled that I'm going to miss it or I know I'm going to miss it. It's just
Right.
it just with work, you never know when bad people's going to be bad. So
That's facts.
sometimes I just got to pick up and go because I still got to pay the bills. I mean, I got to pay for this crappy internet. So
you like
And
dipped
that
out of
fancy
practice.
steering wheel.
You dipped out of practice one day. It was like we were like talking, and then you're like, "Oh shit, my phone's ringing," and you answered it, and then you were gone for like 15 minutes, and then you come back, you're like, "I gotta go." I was like, "What the fuck just happened?"
Yeah, that's quite common. I mean, you never know. You never know when that phone's going to ring, and you're going to have to go do something. You know, just like the flooding we had here 3 or 4 weeks ago. And I appreciate you calling me, John, and checking on me there and all that. You was watching Ryan Hall just like I was, and it's you got the phone call saying water's getting high, people's floating down the river, and 30. I think I was out 36 hours straight, and I come back home and got sleep for 6 hours and went back out for another 10 hours, and so you just never know when that phone call is going to come, and you're gonna have to go out and be gone. So
yeah, that is something I just realized that I left out of your intro when I introed you. You are literally a real life superhero. Like you do a job that shit I know I couldn't do. I mean, shut up. Yes, you are. You like police officers, firefighters, EMS, like true bad to the bone real life superheroes, because that's shit not everybody can do. I know I couldn't. I definitely couldn't. So I mean,
I'm sitting over here trying.
Superhero. It's the guys.
He just lost his cup. There goes the cup with all the wild turkey in it.
The cup. I'm gonna have to go find me some more. I'm not the superhero. It's the guys that grind it out every day. The guys on the road, they're the superheroes around here. The guys and gals that does that, and air dispatchers that don't get paid enough, that they take the call when somebody's baby's not breathing, or somebody's house is on fire, and they have to deal with it to get it to the officers of the fire departments. That's your superheroes up there.
Yeah, I think the last thing we got to talk about before we talk about race results. I just wanted to throw that out there because we hadn't got to that part. The Bristol meetups.
Bristol boys.
The Bristol boys. The Bristol boys.
Let me just say,
Oh no, he's going to get his cup.
Another skunk.
No, now that he's snuck off, I can say he's about got me sappy there. I'm sitting there thinking about the flood and all that mess, and then 36 hours out, and the people I heard that got rescued, man, that's hitting on a nerve for me.
It's funny he brings up. Yeah, I was watching Ryan Hall y'all that weekend. I do not have a producer in my ear. I am watching currently. I'm currently watching Ryan Hall y'all. That's what my headphone underneath my headphone is.
I had to go catch my hat. It was getting ready to blow over the hill.
Oh gosh!
No,
We can't have
lose the hat.
I didn't want to lose the hat.
So this, there's some stuff from this that will tie into our questions later. We have 10 questions we're gonna start asking every driver. They are subjective, but we'll get to that later.
So you want my opinion?
No.
Oh no.
Well, you know. So the Bristol boys trip. The Bristol boys. Trip. I know you're huge on it. I think back to that first year. I mean, we were close. Like I definitely think the Bristol trip made our friendship a lot tighter. Like I would have said we were friends beforehand, but like that Bristol trip made us like that, you know. I was nervous. Obviously I traveled 14 hours total. Someplace, no fucking clue who these people are. I've just talked to them like on the phone and on the internet. And I mean, y'all, Southern hospitality is a real thing. It is a real deal. I always so my grandma is from North Carolina. She passed away in 2019, but she gave everybody the same treatment. And I was like, surely that's just my grandma being a nice lady, you know? No, that is the real deal shit from the South. Like, y'all made me feel right at home. Took care of me fantastically. We went golfing, where Jeremy absolutely annihilated a golf ball. One of my favorite videos ever.
Shot her around the world.
literally.
So all you have to do is just watch Jeremy golf, and you'll realize how he drives sometimes.
Yes. Yes.
Woohoo! He lightly tapped it. That's a good shot.
It's the same motivation. And I'm not saying nothing bad about it. It is a good motivation. But that's, if you figured it out, that's exactly the way he golfs is the way he drives.
I gotta make a note. I gotta put the video in there.
Yeah, you need to put the tag of that thing.
That's going in there. You'll have seen Jeremy whack the living fuck out of a golf ball. But that trip was incredible. Like I said, I think you drove me and Nathan around on race day. But I feel like we spent you, me, and Nathan hung out a ton that weekend. It felt like I think we rode around on the golf cart together when we went golfing. You drove us to and from the golf course. You drove us to the race. Oh man, I think we sat next to each other at the race the first year. It was such a good experience.
Yeah, this is another thing that I stepped outside of my comfort zone. Nathan got this big idea for everyone in Venom to come to Bristol and watch a race. And he's like, you want to go? And I'm like, I don't want to go. And again, my wife, my biggest supporter, said, you should go. These guys, you talk to them every week, you're there. And I was like, I don't know them. I mean, they could be freaking mass murderers. I don't know who they are.
Cole definitely
like, you got
would be.
Your gun, don't you? And I was like, yeah, I've got my gun, which you saw it. And
it did not get pointed at me, by the way. I did nothing wrong to get it pointed at me.
No. But so I was like, okay. And the first time, I think I told this story on the last podcast. I I was sick. I mean, I was once every 10 years do I get sick to the point I can't get up off the couch or out of bed. And that was one of the times that I was so sick and had no energy the week before. I was telling my wife, like, I don't know if I can go. I don't know if I can go. But miraculously about Thursday I started feeling a little bit better and end up going to Nathan's for the cookout. And did we go to the Xfinity race that year? I can't remember.
No, so the first year, I can't remember if you were there or not. It was me, Nathan, Jan, Kyle. You definitely were there. Cole was there, but we went to Drake's on Thursday night or Friday night for the Xfinity race instead of going to the Xfinity race because I was pissed because so Drake's was right next to a Waffle House, and this is when Noah Gragson was still in Xfinity, and I told Nathan was like, we're not going to go to the Xfinity race. Like, it's pointless to go for the last 100 laps or whatever. I was like, we're watching the race at Drake's. And he like told me that when we got in the car, and I go, well, shit, we should just stay here and go to the Waffle House. Because we were basically in Bristol. I was like, we should just go to the Waffle House and wait for Noah to win the race. Sure enough, Noah Gragson wins the race, and guess what? He goes to the fucking Waffle House right next to Drake's. Right where we just were. I was like, damn it, I told you we should have just stayed.
Should have just stayed right there.
We should have just stayed right there. But yeah, so the second year, obviously you guys can see a bunch of diecasts behind me. I'm working on getting this diecast. The second year is when we went to the Xfinity race, and Dale Jr. led a bunch of laps. And like damn near won. He probably had a winning race car if he wouldn't have caught on fire.
Yeah, that's the year his car caught on fire. He's racing.
What I was thinking.
I feel something burning.
Yeah, and it was him. He was cooking. If anybody wants to donate $60 to me, that is in my cart.
Is that the Hellman's car?
Yes, it is. 2023 Hellman's car.
Great betrayer. Not a Duke's Mayo car.
Dude, that car was so fast that night. Like, that was genuinely, like, I feel like the Cup cars, like, probably, I didn't get to go last year, but watching Larson's car probably could say the same thing. But that car was so fast. Like, I felt like restart would happen, and then, like, 5 laps later, it's like, here goes Junior through the corner, because we were sitting in, like, 1 and 2, and then here comes the rest of the pack. Like, you know, it felt like there was a big gap, it felt like.
If he had caught on fire, he'd have won that race.
I think so. It was cool to see that. Like, you're like, damn, that is the best car out of everybody tonight. But yeah, so I mean, that trip is incredible. Unfortunately, we keep cracking jokes about it. I wasn't there to witness it, but apparently you're taking a break from drinking wild turkey. I've heard through the grapevine.
That break's already done.
I tell you, that wind just keeps blowing and blowing. I don't know. That's blowing awful hard back there.
Yeah. Them trees are moving quite a bit.
Let's just say that
there's that Bible verse that says not to go to excess. Is that what we're pondering over?
Well,
what had happened was.
So when you coming to see it, sir? Sarge.
So here's the funny thing about that is that we were talking about the Bristol trip. I've missed 2. The first one, I was on vacation. Last year, my wife's family had a wedding. I have literally blocked off the whole week. I've told Mom we can't schedule vacation. We're on for this year. So now, what's funny about it is my dad's coming. So my wife don't want to come, but my dad wants to come to the race.
I'm gonna get.
So I'm bringing the real. I know, but I'm bringing the real preacher man, and it's going to be hilarious.
I am about to get. Let me tell you my rights.
Let me tell you something. The first year we went, you know, everybody knows. You know, you listen to the radio the team chats, and you listen to the chat that's in iRacing, and I heard that Cole was coming, and I'm like, this Cole guy, I don't know if
he's a character. He's weird.
Yeah, I don't know
Cole's
about
weird
this
in
Cole
Discord.
guy. I don't know.
In the
But
best way possible.
let me tell you something. When Cole got there, on that first time we met, there was a connection. And ever since then, Cole has been one of my best buddies. The one that I thought that I would not get along with is the one I get along with best.
The best.
And Jan was great too. Jan was awesome. But me and Cole, man, we're just we throw text toward each other and
Yeah,
whatnot. And
I've heard.
he's
Hey,
awesome.
I'm
I
not your
love
best
Cole to
friend.
death.
I'm not your best friend.
You're
I'm just kidding.
you're
Too
all my
young,
best
John.
friends.
No,
You're all my best friends. Cole is the one that surprised me because I kind of going into it, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to get along with this guy or not. I'm just going to have to smile and play nice. No, Cole, you don't have to smile and play nice. You
You look
you know,
in chat and Cole doesn't come across. He again, John said in chat, Cole is weird.
Yeah,
I think in
a good
person
way.
because I've talked to him outside of Venom. He's really just old South Carolina boy.
Yeah,
It's just
he is.
funny.
Yeah.
He is. He's
Yeah.
legit. He's
And-
legit. Cole's cool as fun.
And that first year standing outside that porta potty, and I'm sitting here thinking, I'm going to go to jail. I'm going to go to jail with the guy that I just met. But okay, here we go.
Here we go.
If those that know that story,
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
Yeah, we're gonna have Cole's got to come on. We got to tell that story
Yeah.
about
Cole's got.
Cole.
And I don't care to be there for the whole podcast, but when Cole's on there, I want to be on there for that story.
Cole
just for
talked
story
to
time.
Cole talked to a damn time traveler. Talked to him, his future self. That was incredible.
Oh dang.
I see.
And I was looking, I was like, it's on. I mean,
We were
there's only one
fighting.
way out of this.
We were fighting at first.
There's only one way out of this.
So I think I make that joke. I literally I think the thing that's so cool is like obviously there's an age gap. I'm the youngest out of the group that was there. I'm basically everybody's little brother. I think that's the thing. I think that's the thing that was the coolest is everybody, they didn't treat me like a kid, but everybody made sure I was taken care of. And I appreciate that. Southern Craft is some of the best damn food on the planet. You can't convince me otherwise. I am happy. There was supposed to be a vlog for the second year that we went, but obviously that never happened. So I still have all the video clips and stuff. I just don't. It's not going to get edited anytime soon.
Get your ass motivated, and this year you can do a vlog.
I'll be there with him, and I'm basically his producer. The whole reason we're getting 10 questions at the end of the podcast is because I was like, hey, it'd be cool.
I was working on it, damn it.
Yeah, but see, we're doing it, right? I've only been here 3 podcasts, man.
We are doing it. We're doing it now.
I'm going to force him to vlog. It'll be hilarious. I'll just chase him around with a camera and tell him to say stuff.
I need a better camera. That's part of the deal. But
this year, the guys that's, the core group that's involved knows, but and I've not done it yet. There's specific reasons I've not done it yet, but I am getting a house this year. The house is on Boone Lake, and I'm getting it for Thursday night, Friday night, and Saturday night. So there's a core group of us that's going to go in together. I don't care a bit if somebody else. I think Luke, you said something about that you're coming. I'd love to have you there. I think didn't Kevin say that he may try to make it this year?
I think he did.
Kevin Sargent.
I know a lot of people have talked about it.
I would love to have him there.
I told my boss, I was like, look, because basically one of our big races at Eldora is 4 Crown Nationals. And it and Bristol are either right next to each other or they're the same weekend. I pretty much told them, like, even if 4 Crown is Bristol weekend, I'm going to Bristol. It's too good to miss, honestly.
The good thing for me is mom and dad's house is an hour away. I mean, Avery County to Bristol's 45 minutes to 50 minutes.
That ain't nothing.
I'm right there, and then I'm going to try to come stay as long as possible anyway. So I'm excited.
So-
I'm so excited this year.
It's only 10 miles, but it's a 45-minute drive because of the damn mountains.
Well,
Well, you got to
See,
go
this-
up and over and through Rome Mountain and then around LA. It just takes time.
it's not that bad though. I mean,
No, it ain't. No, you just get on 19. Well, not 19E. Yeah,
I thought I was
19E.
gonna-
Just get on
I thought I was
19E and go through Rome Mountain and through Elizabeth and come straight over to Bristol.
I thought I was going to
So-
die the first time I went up to Nathan's house.
Well, you actually came right by my house and you just didn't realize it. But
Old Flatlander.
last
No way.
year was Hayden's first time coming to the Bristol race, and he actually, it was a late decision for him, and he ended up getting a room just outside of Asheville somewheres. So he still had like an hour to an hour and 15-minute drive just to get to Bristol.
Asheville's not a place you want to be anyway. Anyway, I digress.
Bless their heart.
Not even that.
Yeah, I could sit here and talk another hour about it, but hey, anyways, I guess what I was getting back to saying is we've got a core group that's going to stay there. I think me, Cole, Paul, Zittle. There was a fifth one. Who am I missing?
I'm looking at the group.
There's a
Nathan's
fifth.
in that picture.
John,
he's
John
probably
said he's going to try to come. Anyways, hey, if Hayden comes, John, if you come, Luke, if you come, we can pile as many as we can pile in there. What we're going to do is, it's expensive to rent the house for, 3 nights. So ever how many comes, the more people that comes, the less
Let it.
per person it's going to cost to rent. And, I'll brunt the cost to rent the house and you can just reimburse me. But, like Kevin, or if somebody else wants to come and stay, hey, more power to them. That's why we rented it for. I plan on throwing a cot in my truck in case we run out of beds. I'll sleep on a cot. These couches, I don't care a bit to accommodate ever how many we can accommodate there. It's going to be a good time. It always is a blast.
Southern Craft, baby. I'm excited to go get some more Southern Craft.
Southern Craft, that's kind of a tradition that we go to. So
Yes.
And this house isn't, I think, I'm not 100% sure exactly where it's at, but if it's on Boone Lake where I think it's at, it's only about 15 minutes from the track. So
Oh wow.
it's not a bad drive. Zittle usually rents a Tahoe or some sort of an SUV, and we can all pile in it. Designated driver. And
There it was.
and I think it's going to be one thing we do need to work out with between all the guys that's coming is are we going to, I know there was some talk last year about maybe watching the truck race on Thursday night. Are we going to try to watch the truck race too? Or I know usually that's been kind of reserved for a cookout at Nathan's. So we need to figure out which way we're going with that. I'm good either way. I don't care. But we do need to figure that out.
I'd like the cookout option just because that's probably the day I'll have to drive down. So, but that's just me. I'll do whatever. I don't care.
I think it's fun to have that, and I haven't got to do it, but I think it's definitely fun to have the cookout and watch the truck race on TV because most people aren't. Which, then again, growing up, see, we didn't go to the fall race. We go to the spring race for Bristol. Dad preached on Sunday, so we couldn't watch the Cup race. And Saturday usually we're working too. So Friday night, me and him would always sneak up and watch the truck race, or Friday day. And truck race used to be one of the most fun things I ever got to go to. That thing was a blast back in the day. I love that mess.
As far as entertainment, the truck race is just as entertaining as the Xfinity and the Cup race. I mean, it's a pretty good race. I'd love to see them extend the truck race another 100 laps, to tell you the truth.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. I have one goal for Bristol this year, and it is to get that shirt signed.
The Hosabot shirt. Can you tell him to write Hosabot on it just for me? I do have a question here based on this. What's your favorite Bristol memory? Because I have one that I remember as a kid. What's your favorite Bristol memory? Because when I was in ROTC in high school, y'all remember when it snowed at the Xfinity race?
I've seen.
I was
I was
serving.
Yeah.
I was serving hot chocolate there that day, and I got to be in the snowball fight with the pit crew. That was one of the
Really?
coolest things I ever did at Bristol.
So me, you, and Nathan was all there, and we
Yeah.
didn't know it.
Didn't know.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, also, I learned real quick before you start, Eric. I learned something really cool. Somebody that watches a bunch of my like NASCAR Thunder Sim videos, he was also there the first year we went, and he was sitting like not too far away from us. Like he is just, me and him were talking. I'm pretty sure he was just some person that watches my YouTube videos, but he's in like.
Oh,
I have my own little Discord server that I try to handle. Not very well, but I try. But apparently he was also at the same race that we were all at that first year. And he like literally like I posted a picture and he was like, "Bro, I am like just to the left of this picture." And so it's
yeah,
kinda,
I remember
it's
seeing
crazy.
that. You had an arrow pointed, here I am, or something.
Oh, what
I remember seeing
somebody else.
Greg Elliott was there too.
Oh yeah, Greg Elliott.
Greg
He
Elliott
was
was
that
there.
close.
Yeah.
He didn't realize we was there.
Yeah, that was nuts too.
It's funny how you
okay,
can
that's
attend
what
those
I'm thinking
events and
Was
people
Vroman-
around you that you don't know.
Was Vroman there too? Or
Or
did
I'm
somebody?
pretty sure he has to keep bees on Saturdays. I don't think he's got time to go to Bristol.
No, somebody. Gosh dang, who?
I thought Hollifield had been to one of them because I think his Facebook picture is him at Bristol.
Yeah, I think him and Steve were trying to like meet each other at some race too. I just remembered Steve was somewhere and somebody was trying to meet Steve. We should get Roman to go this year. We should talk Steve into going.
I'm telling you,
That'd
the
be
more
fun.
the merrier. I want
Yes.
everybody to come.
I
The
agree.
more the merrier.
We want Venom to be
guys
sponsoring
don't
Bristol.
realize how much fun this is.
Yes. So that's your cue. If you want to go, we're going to Bristol this year. The night race, the good one.
That's right.
Be there.
Yep.
So with that being said, we have more memories to make at Bristol. I'm very excited. But we're going to use this to springboard into our racing. Really quickly, it was a rather quiet evening, honestly, for most of us. We ran the Daytona Road Course, a whole 25 laps, and it took a whopping 51 minutes. It was great.
That's right.
I was happy. I was happy for it to be over. Mainly because Brody beat the shit out of everybody. Good old Brody started on the pole. Led 20 laps, won the race. I mean, he was a second a lap faster.
He was good
than me. He was a second of a lap
Very
faster than me. I was 0.3 faster than Matt and Andy. I finished second, 21 seconds back. He just, the way he got back onto NASCAR like 1 and 2, he killed it. His average running position was 1.4.
Good Lord.
That's insane.
He's an ass whipping, and then there's what he did at this race.
Yes. Andy Poliski finishes in third. Him and Matt had a hell of a battle. I need to finish watching the broadcast. I listened to the radio part while I was at work. Tommy did a great job. Matt, the update on Tuesday was super weird because I had something happen to me where I thought I had set it to update, and then I came back and it asked me something, and it had sat for like 20 minutes. So I thought it was done updating, but it never updated.
And there was something weird too. I know you guys in the Alabama game super kick chat was like you realized I didn't get there till like 8.
Yeah.
While I was updating, I don't know. I don't think it had anything to do with iRacing the update, but my internet was doing some weird crap, and I didn't know if I was going to get to make it into the race.
It's that mountain in your head, dude.
Well, when it started updating, you've got that little box that gives you, how fast it's downloading, how much you got left, and how much time you got. Well, when it started out, it was like 8 minutes left or something like that. But all of a sudden it bounced up to like an hour and a half, and I was like, I'm not gonna make it. And so I stopped it and went back and just done the necessary updates to race, the road course that night, and it's still just, I just barely logged on by like 8 o'clock, and I don't know, it's just weird. That whole night was odd for me.
Yeah, it was kind of funky. Not gonna lie. What year? That would have been 22.
It screwed up on mine too. I had to reset my computer twice for the update finally like kicked off right, and then iRacing would set on the loading screen and not move. So
Yeah.
it took me about 45 minutes to get everything right. But yeah, it killed the broadcast for the first half. They had no video, but like John was saying, it's like MRN or PRN. I was listening to it for a while, and it's just you're following right along, even though you're not getting to see it.
It was badass.
And I know Paul had said something. I still had problems. It's like the screen would flash or blink during that race too.
I had an internet problem during the race where I just completely disconnected and lost like 2 seconds, and then had the new packet loss thing. It threatened to kick me out of the race because Brody had the same problem too.
Oh,
yeah, Brody was leading. I don't know if everybody knows this. Brody was leading there, and it was in the second half of the race, if I remember correctly. And he's like, I'm losing the internet. I'm going to lose,
Yeah, and then he's like, so we got
last
to talk.
night.
Yeah. No, not last night, 2 nights ago. He was like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. Because I was like, I'll be honest. Like, yeah, I was running second. I had gotten my ass kicked all night. Like, if Brody would have disconnected, that would have been like the shittiest win ever. And Brody 2 nights ago, we're recording this on Saturday. Brody is like, he's like, oh yeah, I'm sure. I'm like, bro, you shut your bitch ass up. Like,
I'll give you the other half of this. John's over there going, I would have been so upset if you'd have disconnected. It would have been one. I said, hell, if the 4 of y'all had disconnected in front of me, I'd have been super excited. Give me another win, baby.
Luke's like, I hoped all you sons of bitches got nuked by the internet gods. What the
Give me another one.
What the fuck, Luke? Yeah, so that's a thing. Oh goodness. I was looking for Jeremy hitting the golf ball. I need to have that video ready.
Other than turn one, there really wasn't much to the race though. Turn one, lap one was me almost running Andy off the course, Hayden wrecking into the back of Schlosser, people trying to get around a stop truck. Yeah, hit you.
Hit me. Hayden, Matt like pulled across. Hayden, I think, wanted to drive it in a little deeper or something, or missed his braking mark.
Schlosser, he hit his mark. Schlosser got in his brakes heavy. So Schlosser went from 135 to 85. And nothing wrong with that. He was being very conservative.
Yeah.
And Hayden was trying to let it roll. And there was about a 10-mile-an-hour difference. And Hayden's truck just barely bumped, and it snapped him and threw him into the barrier right there for pit road.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it looked like because sometimes when somebody pulls across you like that, and you're going into a braking zone, like a really heavy braking zone, kind of like turn one is there, you lose track of where you're at really quickly. I've done it. I mean, I ran in the back of Luke at Gateway like last season because of something like that. And not really knowing like where he might be braking at, and it was a tough situation. All I knew is I was sideways. I didn't even know Hayden had hit Matt. I just thought I thought I had turned down into Matt and got myself sideways, and then Matt straightened me back out, and I was good.
And turn one all night was just, I mean, it was sketchy. Odd.
Yeah,
I mean, it was like there was a fine line that. There was times I go into it and I'd brake and I'm like, dang, I braked 200 feet before I should have, because I was like way slowed up. And then the next time I go in there and I think I advanced it past the point to where, and I'd be like locking it up like, oh crap, here we go. I'm going to spin out of this wall.
Yeah.
There was no certain point there. And it was just weird. So I played it safe and just broke early. And, I'm sure I lost a lot of time doing that, but I didn't spin out.
Right. So. And I mean, at the end of the day, you still want to finish the race. Like, you don't want to spin out, go into the tires. Cause I mean, you'll friggin' hit a ton. it was. I understand what you're saying though. I think part of what made it so tough was we didn't use the front stretch NASCAR chicane. We ran the 24-hour layout with the truck. So I
Which
mean,
I
you're
love.
doing. It
I
was a
love
fucking
that.
blast.
Yeah.
You're doing like a
Yeah.
buck
But you
90
are
into turn
trucking.
one.
Yes.
That shit's
Yes.
awesome. Oh my
Yes.
god.
Yes.
Oh man, I wish there was a way to figure out how to do it so we could run a race with that down with the not the super speedway package, but with like a regular mile and a half short track whatever package. I think they use the same at all that other shit. I think that'd be such an awesome race. We'd be doing like 220 in a pack. That'd be sick. Anyways,
Awesome. Yeah.
but I really liked the layout. I'm glad we made that decision. I hope we run that again, honestly. Like
Agreed.
I'm not a huge I like running like the 24, but like I've been pretty vocal with people that I talk to, like Luke. The Daytona road course is not one of my best. Like
No.
I've put in I've gotten a lot better at it, but it was one that I hated for a long time. And I like it was
I'm
I sucked, honestly.
I'm more of a fan. Your Roval infield type courses. I've never been a fan of any of those. I like your dedicated road courses. That's why I like the Mossport. I would love to go to Mid Ohio. I would love to go to
Ooh.
Road Atlanta.
I love Mid
Oh,
Ohio.
Road Atlanta in the truck would be so
It'd be
bad.
wild.
Oh,
And
that
I
would
don't
be
know.
awful.
I would
Just tough.
love
Awful.
to do that. I mean, I'd love to even go to um, what's that one down there in Birmingham, Alabama?
Oh, Barber.
Barber. I'd love to
Yeah.
go to Barber.
That would be tough. That
Um,
would be super tough in the truck, too. That would be a good,
I,
fun challenge.
it would be tough, but I would like to go to VIR in a truck. Although
Oh, BIR in a truck would be
That'd be
wild.
good.
it's
Could you
not.
cut part of the course off, maybe, on that big backstretch, maybe?
There's gotta
Is
be.
there like
There's
a
gotta be a
shoot through to take
shorter
that big
course.
hook out, maybe?
There's so many options.
Oh,
There's
I
so
want to
many
know
track
now.
options there. We would have to figure it out. But I would like to see that. But before VIR, I would like to see Mid Ohio, and I'd like to see Road Atlanta. So,
I don't.
but
I don't own Mid Ohio, but I should. It's
Mid
also not
Ohio
too.
is great, man.
It's
That's
not
a
too
fun
far away
track.
from me either.
that's probably my second favorite road course
That would
Behind
be
Canadian Tire.
behind
shout
Canadian Tire.
shout out.
I
Parker
love both of
Kligerman.
those races.
Shout out Parker Kligerman. He won Daytona. In the trucks. Those are some. We're gonna have to write. Somebody write that
I
shit
have a
down.
thought looking at VIR. There's a middle cut through after 7 that takes out
Yeah.
like Oak Tree and the whole back end. If you
Yeah.
just did the little
Yeah.
curvy part and then ran it back over to 14, that'd be a pretty wild, I mean, not bad.
I think we should. I genuinely think we should run the west part of Coda. I think that was whatever iRacing had going.
I think it's a lot better than I think it's better than the full course for sure for the truck, especially.
I don't love. I actually really enjoyed going through the S's and then up into the bendy stuff. Like I really enjoyed doing that, but just because of like how quick the laps are, and like I feel like the shorter Coda course would be really fun to run. It's kind of janky. There's some like weird ass chicane right in the middle.
Yeah.
On the like 6A into 6B, there's like a 6A, B, and C now, with that little chicane in there. But yeah, I think this is all stuff. Somebody in the league council should write this down so that we have this shit for a vote at the end of the year. Because I think a lot of people would agree for road courses as far as those go, because those are a blast.
No, they'll still
I'm assuming.
vote. They'll still vote for Charlotte Roval, and
That's what I was about to say. Mid Ohio was on the card last year. I voted for Mid Ohio because I wanted to go there.
I didn't vote for it because I don't own it, but we haven't run the Roval since season 2. We haven't run Charlotte Roval in a
I don't like the Roval personally. I hate that thing.
Really? I think
I can't drive it.
See, Charlotte Roval, it's like a deceivingly tough little track.
It is.
I actually really like it, but
again, I just don't like any infield oval road courses.
I think that's fair too.
I think
don't like it.
didn't they change the Roval this past season?
They took out one of the chicanes, didn't they?
I don't remember.
Or something,
They
or just at the
added,
bus stop?
It was something in
yeah,
the
they,
infield part of it.
Oh,
yeah,
was
it's
it?
in the
Okay.
infield. They added an extra,
I don't
I
know.
don't know, an extra
I like
loop that goes up and around.
the
Gotcha.
classic. I would rather run the classic one. So Matt Schlosser finishes in, just to go back over it. Brody, me, and Andy Poliski are your. Oh, somebody needs a refill. We are the podium finishers. Matt Schlosser and Luke round out the top 5. Good run for Luke, top 5. That's exactly what you had said you wanted all week long. So I'm very happy for you to get that.
Yep. Me and Matichek had probably, I know Andy and Schlosser had a really exciting battle on the broadcast. Me and Matichek had a long battle the entire race.
Y'all were swinging on each other the whole race. Josh Matichek finishes in 6th. Beautiful paint scheme, by the way. I think Nathan painted it, that garage 56.
56. It was really pretty.
Good looking truck.
It was a good looking truck. I like that.
Chad Stearns finishes in 7th. Rodney Matney finishes in 8th. That's a great drive. I did not realize Rodney finished at 8th.
Yeah, Rodney had a dang good run.
Started 14th. That's a really, really good bit of driving from Rodney. Jan finishes 9th after a drive-through penalty, which, honestly, if there's going to be a track you want to have a drive-through at, it's a road course where there's no yellows, and Jan's pretty good at road courses. So, made the most out of his day. Paul brings it home with a top 10. It'll be, I think Paul said 2 weeks before we see him again. So
yeah, Paul had a dang good run.
2 good runs for Paul back-to-back weeks. Had a 2nd at Michigan and then a 10th this week. And he beats out last week's guest, Zach Lockett, who finishes in 11th. Tyler Berger, underrated road course guy, goes from 18th to 12th. Tyler Logan finishes in 13th. Eric comes home in 14th. Brantley Gainey in 15th. Cole in 16th. Steve in 17th. Kevin Sargent is the first of the lap down trucks in 18th. Garrett finishes in 19th. Josh Freed, Leo Smith, 20th and 21st. Your last 2 trucks, 1 lap down. Paul Sargent in 22nd, 2 laps down. Brian Mitchell in 24th, 7 laps down. Credit to Brian Mitchell for sticking it out. I mean, that's road course racing is tough. Like I have personally have come a long way. I remember back to the Charlotte Roval season 2. It was not easy. It was bad at times, honestly, to be quite frank. So the fact that he stuck it out and ran the majority of the laps. I mean, 7 laps down. It says he disconnected, but I thought he had finished, but it doesn't matter. Getting off course here, but honestly, sticking it out that long. He could have ran 4 or 5 laps and been like, yeah, fuck this, and then quit. But he stuck it out for a good while. Greg Elliott finishes in 20. What? Sorry, Eric.
Go ahead. Finish your rundown.
Oh, Greg Elliott in 25th, 15 laps down. I think he had some issues. Greg Bradshaw, 21 laps down. Gary Clark, 22 laps down. Gary, Jeremy, Jordan, and Hayden, I think they all crashed. I think I remember.
I can pretty much tell you what happened. When we get done, I'll share the league review because I know why people are out.
So Gary Clark, 22 laps down in 27th. Jeremy, 28th, 23 laps down. Jordan Jorno and Hayden Palumbo, 24 laps down, 29th and 30th.
So let me throw this in here real quick. Gary Clark, if you're coming to Bristol, come to Bristol.
So
that would be awesome.
That would be a blast.
That would be fucking awesome.
The review for the race was there were a lot of spins in one. We talked about one a lot, but that opening lap, Hayden gets sideways, kills his truck. Greg Bradshaw tries to shoot underneath him between the barrels and Hayden's truck. And it's going to fit. It's going to be close. Jordan Jorno is checking up and locks up and starts wheel hopping from the entry of one and hits the back of Greg, launches Greg into the infield wall, and then slides into Hayden. Greg Elliott cut in pit lane. Best move of the race, by the way. Goes into the pit lane, drives around, and takes his slow down.
That was pretty slick.
they get rolling again, and Jordan coming onto NASCAR 1 gets loose going into that turn and slides all the way across that turn. He's going to take Greg Elliott out. I don't know if Greg Spidey sensed it. Turns right. Just loses 5 spots, but turns right to dodge the
I
wreck.
did see that.
Yeah.
And then Jordan broke loose on the exit of the bus stop and hits the wall and slides down the track, and Jeremy T-bones him. Blows Jeremy's truck up. So your first lap had Hayden going out, Jordan going out, Jeremy going out, Greg pretty much going out. All from just different stuff throughout, and also brought up the only EOL of the week, which was for Mr. Journo. So it was an interesting first lap, to say the least. And Garrett took damage on that first lap trying to dodge Hayden and them, which became a big sticking point because what we haven't talked about yet is the car inside bracket, which was...
We're going to get there. We're going to get there. Oh, yeah, because...
Garrett had damage. So he had a tough night, which Zach had a good run, finishing 11th. And then, of course, Brody had a good run. And Cole finished 16th. So John's going to get mad here in a minute.
Oh, no, there's no getting mad in a minute. John is pissed.
Well, you know.
I mean, I'm not that mad, but Jeff Gordon would like a word. I didn't even get a chance to plead my fucking case. I went and saw what the hell was going on, and I saw that was the notification in Venom. We'll get to it in a second. We'll get to it in a second. After Daytona, your points leader is Matt Schlosser, 13-point lead over not teammate Chad Stearns. Luke Peterson, top 3 in points, 25 points back of the lead. Zach Lockett is 34 or 32 points back of the lead in 4th. I am 5th in points, 34 points back. We're coming back. I've run 100 less laps than everybody else, but coming back, damn it. Hayden, after his rough turn 1 at Daytona, is 53 points back of the lead. Josh Freed is 64 points back. Brantley Gainey, 76 points back, and he's in 8th in points, by the way, in case anybody's confused. Brody has a monster day to get himself into the chase, 77 points back of the lead. But honestly, Brody only 3 points clear of the cut line in 9th. Jan Van Leer in 10th is 78 points back of the leader. Is Jan the cut line technically, or is... Yep. Okay, so Brody is the cut line. Brody's only 1 point clear of the cut line, really, before becoming the cut line, I guess, technically.
Yep.
So Jesus. Brody's 2 points clear of the cut line, because if he was 1 point, whatever.
The point is that Jan is the cut line, and you have other people very, very close.
Matichek is 2 points out of a chase spot right now in 11th. Andy is 3 points out in 12th. Zittel, with his provisional, is... I don't know. He is
25-ish, 27, yeah.
27 points out of the the deal. So, yeah. I don't know if I want to talk about this, honestly, because I don't think I'll say anything nice.
I mean, I can briefly recap it, and you can sit over there in Steam.
I mean...
EB, if you didn't know, Brody can't make it Tuesday, so Cole's replacing him for the bracket. Brody's not going to be there because he's doing real life stuff, so therefore he can't advance in the bracket to face Zach. He was facing Cole, so therefore Cole takes Brody's spot, so it is Cole Maxwell versus Zach Lockett. John is mad because he thinks that since Brody didn't make it, and John was the last person to lose to Brody, obviously John should get to advance like 2 things back to the final of this bracket.
Well, it's not,
or at least have a chance.
It would be crazier if Brody had knocked me out in round 1 and then I said, "Oh, I should be in the championship." But it's not the fact that I was the person that I'm not the last person that Brody technically beat.
So what's the fucking secret here? I don't see where the secret is.
I got
the secret
we'll
for
get to
him
the
is
secret. We'll get to the secret in a minute. We can't talk about it in something that's going to be uploaded. My beef is Brody had damage. Brody was just gonna park it, and then I got wiped out by a truck that, should not have been in that part of the track. Not to say I wouldn't have got wiped out anyways, but I was gonna argue my case that, I mean, it doesn't matter if it's Cole or anybody else down there. I agree that they should be in it, but also like. Second highest finisher. I want Cole to win it so bad now. second highest finisher in the race before that was still in the bracket. I don't know. All
I'd like to point out is that John is making this argument, but
I'm still salty.
I got kicked out of the play-in bonus by Paul Sargent.
No, by Steve.
Yeah.
Steve
Paul Sargent. No, Paul Sargent got the play-in.
Yeah.
Which was one spot away from me. If you want to talk average finishes, we can have a real average finish talk.
Listen, I'm just happy I made the damn thing and I actually got past the first round.
I was about to say, you advanced in the bracket. You did damn
good. It was a damn miracle that I made it that far.
I'm just still pissed I got wiped out of the Michigan race.
I'm pissed I got wiped out of the Kansas race.
I'm upset because I've told everybody I've talked to I wasn't going to win the Michigan race. I'm fairly certain Garrett was going to win the Michigan race.
If it had stayed green, I think he would have. Sure.
Well, the fucking caution wouldn't have come out if I wouldn't have got turned. Which I still don't.
It shouldn't have.
I still don't even know why I don't know why the caution came out. Anyways, I was not on the racing line.
That was iRacing. iRacing threw it for no reason. We still haven't figured that one out.
To be fair,
y'all keep talking.
The caution, the previous caution, and this is part of the thing with not having like actual race control. We just have admin that run the races. But Jan had caused the wreck before, took out Brody and Steve and Andy, and then I ended up coincidentally getting turned by Jan. So yeah.
I had a big discussion.
I feel like, and Brody literally parked it. Brody was like, I'm done. And then I get wrecked, and then he's like, "Oh, I'm coming back out." So I think,
it made sense.
I wasn't gonna win the race. I just wanted a good finish. I just want nice, clean finishes. That's all I really want. Got turned. Doesn't even matter who it was by. It's not who turned me that pissed me off, because I know somebody's gonna be like, or Jan's gonna watch this and be like, "I thought we were cool. We are cool." It's just the fact that I got turned
and won.
Hell, it could have been. And fucking Luke could have caused the caution before, and then not been like, I'm not taking a fucking EOL for that, and then turned me the next time. I'd be just as pissed, honestly.
I had a pretty animated conversation with a fellow league member about
obviously
race control this week, because me and him were talking, and he's like, "Yeah, it's a cost thing," and I'm like, "I get that, but I think it's a cost that's worth being paid for." Race control is huge.
I mean, if Venom, if it ends up becoming a thing where we have to pay to race, I can't race. So,
yeah, that's true. But I'm not saying pay to race. I'm saying that we already pay for stuff anyway.
Right.
Race control's not that expensive when you split it up certain ways.
My face is warm because I'm
aggravated.
I didn't even get to plead my fucking case. It just got decided.
I mean, I'm sorry, but you don't have a case. You were out of the bracket.
I do have a case. I have a case. That's the thing. I have a case. I have a case.
Old Grizzly over here. He's got one of them Grizzly trucks, don't he?
I had to go get some tobacco and refill my water.
But yeah, that's the car inside. That's the car inside bracket. I can't pick who I'm going to root for because I like both the guys. Lockett was awesome on the podcast. Cole's obviously.
Yes, he was.
Cole's Cole.
Cole's Cole. I mean, I think it's going to be great for either one of them. It's a neat story for both of them because
I wanted to win it. I'm pissed. I'm upset.
Zach's top 5 in points. Cole is 25th in points, and that should just show you
I closed the
erraticness of racing.
Cole's
that a guy who is 25th in the points has advanced to the finalist bracket. He was in the semifinals naturally and has gotten a little bit of luck here. But I mean, it's cool that somebody who may not have had the best finishes is still getting better finishes to advance to a bracket. I think it's neat.
Also, I have to clarify one thing because I just realized I don't think I made this part clear. I am not saying Cole should be out.
You want a 3-way fight for the championship now?
I do actually.
So John wants us to change all the rules for John. That's what I'm hearing.
No, fuck no. I would say the same thing for anybody else. I'd be like, well, that situation's fucked up. You should still be able to race. You know who got fucked and who was able to race for a championship? Fucking Jeff Gordon.
You gotta breathe. You gotta breathe. We're about to choke.
I'm pissed. No. I just realized I did not say that part either. I still think Cole should be able to race for it. I think that Cole being able to race for it is the right choice. But like, I'm still pissed. Okay, I think I should. Jeff Gordon.
So do we have
Jeff Gordon in?
Do we have anything else with our racing?
Just because I'm selfish and want to win it. And I feel like I shouldn't have been knocked out in the first place, but whatever.
Or is it question time?
I don't care if people think I'm an asshole for that either. You can get over it. This is the second straight week I've turned heel in the last hour of the podcast.
According to Ziddle, I'm turning heel. That's what he keeps telling me.
Why are you turning heel?
Our conversation 2 nights ago.
You're too nice to turn heel. Anyways, so on to our we need
question time.
I'll come up with a name for it.
The Fast 10.
No, that sucks.
I'll come up with something in 2 years because that sucks.
Shut the fuck up. All right, 10 questions. We're gonna start asking these to all of our guests. They're gonna be fantastic.
And I'm the guinea pig.
You are the guinea pig. I had been trying to work out what 10 questions I wanted, and then Luke fed me 6 or 7 or 8 of them, and I was like, you know what, these are pretty good, and I mixed and matched some of the good, because you nailed pretty much all the ones I wanted anyways. I just mixed and matched a couple extra ones in there to get us to 10. I was going to leave it at 9, but then I was like, that's going to bug what little bit of OCD I have. So, Mr. Eric Breeding, what's your favorite track? Real life or iRacing, it doesn't matter. I think I know the answer, but...
Or both.
Bristol, yeah. Bristol.
Somebody cue it. It's
Easy.
Bristol, baby.
It's Bristol, baby. I don't think I don't have nitro, so I can't.
You don't? I don't either. Oh, well.
What real life position besides driver would you be on a race team? What would you do on a race team? What position on a race team would you have? Crew chief, car chief?
While he ponders this over, we came up with this question last week because we were trying to put the Venom team.
No, this was 2 weeks ago with Schlosser. What did he say?
Yeah. Hauler driver.
Oh, that'd be badass. That'd be awesome.
I like that.
That's a good one. I think you kind of answered this one earlier. What's your favorite type of racing, or do you like another sport, or do you just do iRacing? You answered this earlier, though.
Yeah, I like dirt track racing. But other sports, my favorite, and this is the perfect time of year for it, and I'm missing some games to do this.
Sorry.
Whatever we're doing here is college basketball. College basketball.
March Madness is here.
March Madness. So that's my second favorite. And third favorite would probably be college football.
That's
college ball, baby. That's the way to go.
Oh, Michigan played last night and they won. I don't know. Oh, they're playing right now. They're beating Maryland 46-34. I think that's men's.
We lost. About Michigan in college
we lost in the first round of the ACC and will not make the NIT, but I don't care.
Who was the player to come out and say we suck?
Wow.
We sucked and,
our little guard Luau comes out. We may be ass, but we weren't as ass as they thought we were going to be.
Yeah, that was fucking awesome.
I love that.
That's so good.
I may use that at some point.
Besides your team,
I was ass, but I was as ass as I thought they was going to be.
Besides your team, current members on your team, so you can't pick any Alabama gang or super kick drivers. Who would you like on your team in Venom?
Andy.
There it is.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I love Andy as a choice, man.
Jeremy.
Damn. So he's just gonna join Broke Guy Racing. Got it.
And
he's gonna say it now.
I'll let you guess the third one.
Cole.
It's got to be Cole.
It's got to be.
Cole.
Don't let your wife find out you're having an affair with Cole.
Your four-man team is now Cole for companionship, Andy for the brains, Jeremy for the push at super speedways.
Well, me and Cole, we trade text messages, and we're like, yeah, we're the guys at the back, so we're racing against each other.
What Venom driver do you want to get punched by?
Oh yeah, I liked that one.
My answer onto this would change week
What?
to week. Who?
What Venom driver would I want to be punched by?
Yeah.
I ain't wanting to be punched by anybody.
Hey,
I ain't going
What
to
is-
be punched by anybody.
as Ryan Dye used to say.
What does Ryan always say to you? This is a great person to ask this question to first.
What was it? He
How
used to
bad
be
would I
every
beat
before
your
the race.
ass?
Yeah, how
I
bad would
said,
I
I
beat your
don't. I
ass?
carry a gun.
There it is. If you
That's
ain't
your
getting
answer.
punched in
That
the
is
question.
I saw that and I was like,
Nobody's
oh,
going to punch me.
I saw that and I was like, yes, this is the perfect person to have this question for as the first one. My cheeks fucking hurt, by the way, from laughing so much. I just want everybody to know.
We've never answered that question, John. Do you want to say which one you want to be punched by?
Who I want to
Both
be
the
punched,
ones.
who I want to be
Yeah.
punched by? You, so I can
Yeah.
kick your ass.
I'd love to see that day. I beat that fat jelly from one side to the other. Number one.
I got a
Number
I got a
two.
lot of childhood trauma pent up in this bitch. I'll fucking beat you.
I'm a 100-pound man. Do you know how we survived? Beating up kids bigger than you. Secondly, I want to be punched by two people who are retired. I want to be punched by Miglin or Palawota so I can kick their ass. So
just because you're on the council and you're my teammate and you won't back me up in my bid to be the third driver in the bracket that I got fucked out.
Oh no, I already submitted that to the council. They're just turning it down. I'm sorry. I tried.
No, you didn't. Don't lie. If Jeremy hits a golf ball at the speed of sound and Steve coats a target in honey 2 miles away, what is the meaning of the Venomcast?
That wind's still blowing, man.
A wild turkey, apparently.
Gobble gobble. Who is the sexiest driver in the Venom Truck series?
Oh God, sexiest? I don't judge men, dude. Sorry.
That's when you say yourself.
I was gonna say you could say yourself.
Well,
Wasn't that a thing? What? Didn't Ryan used to call you like the sexiest man in Buchanan County or something like that? That was a thing for a while. I feel like.
I've heard that, but I don't see it.
It's-
I mean,
he
look,
can't even judge himself.
It's the lack of hair follicles.
Look,
The skunks think it.
I don't know if they think I'm the sexiest man. They probably think I'm the scariest man because I'm looking
Yeah,
shit on them.
that motherfucker come out the
One
door.
caught one,
Come out
killed
the door
another.
come out the door like Elmer Fudd. Just come on, motherfucker. What song?
Oh, Lord.
What song would your wrestler entrance theme be?
Country Boy Can't Survive. I don't know. I like that one, and I also like Charlie Daniels' Simple Man. I like that one too.
Oh, that's a good one.
Good one. What is your most memorable Venom race?
Ooh.
For a good memory or a bad memory?
You can do one of each.
Yeah.
Good memory is when I finished second at Daytona, my best finish ever in Daytona, or best
What
finish in
season was that?
Venom. It was early on, season 3, season 4, something like that. I can't remember. I think Steve won that race, and Nathan was behind me, and we just couldn't make it work. Me and Nathan was teammates. The second most, or another most memorable one was that god awful night race we done it in dark at that
Motegi.
Japanese road course.
Motegi.
That
Yeah.
was horrible. That was horrible.
That's come up in a couple of different conversations I've had recently, honestly.
I was about to say, y'all
I
talked
didn't
about
think-
it like the other day.
Well, y'all better get ready because this new fucking sun shit they're doing is just
it's
as bad,
rough.
honestly. It's just
That
as
race was so bad. I could not. And this past race, I know there was several of them that mentioned it. I couldn't see nothing.
yeah. No, I said
I
it. I
couldn't
said
see
it in
my
my
breaking
post race.
points.
Post race.
We
Yeah.
learned it's the same at Nashville. So to all Venom people who watch this and to y'all, you got to go in and cut your brightness up in your graphics for a night race now to be able to see. Nashville's dark too. And then when you go to a daylight race, it's going to blind you and you have to cut it back down.
I'm not doing shit.
It's really annoying.
If I crash,
I don't know. I
crash 'cause
just
I can't
couldn't
see, I'll
see my
crash.
breaking points.
I cut Nashville up to 15 on brightness and then loaded into Sebring yesterday. And I thought I was on the surface of the sun. I had to cut it back down to 2.
I can't find it, but
Oh, it's season 2. He was season 2, second place
Oh, was it?
at Daytona.
I didn't
I
realize
checked.
That was my first race. I didn't realize you
Season
finished
2, second
That's why I
place
didn't
at
realize it.
Daytona to Kevin Biggs.
Yep. Shout out Big.
DB and Nathan were 2 and 3.
I finished P12 in that race. I sped on
Garrett
pit
Rainey
road.
finished 5th on that one.
That was the beginning of me and pit road at Daytona don't get along because I sped. Last question, I think. Who would you let date your daughter in Venom, and who would you not let date your daughter in Venom if you had a daughter?
Oh, Lord. We've already mentioned the fact that he carries a gun. Colin Cole? All right.
You would
Plain
let
and
Cole,
simple.
You would let Cole date your daughter, but you wouldn't let Cole date your daughter?
So I think what we're getting here is real life Cole versus Venom Cole.
Yeah, you know, that's fair. That is fair.
Oh, man.
No, let me change that up. No, I'm not going to change it up. Cole,
Nah.
I think that's a good answer. That's a good answer. Just like Family Feud. Good answer. Good answer.
Good answer, man. Good answer. Show me Cole. I don't think it's up there.
Show me Cole. Nobody wants to fucking see that.
Oh, Lord.
Bad memories. That sounds worse than it should, but it's from Cole. It's from Cole threatening to show everybody his butthole all the time, in case anybody wants to know.
Consistent.
You're welcome.
Then he started asking for everybody's pictures of their butthole.
No, don't say that. That's you're gonna get us in trouble. This part might get cut too.
Demonetized.
Or we're well past demonetized. This show is sponsored, so thank you to our sponsors. Turn 200 and Motor Start. Eric, are you good?
Yeah, I'm
choking over there. God dang. Shout out to our sponsors, Turn 200. They show all our races on Tuesday nights. They show a whole bunch of other stuff. Truck 200 is wrapping up on Monday nights. Max V is getting started. I think they're in round 4 this past week at Homestead on Thursdays. And then ASRL should be starting up on Wednesdays here soon. You can catch all that on the Turn 200 YouTube channel. Obviously, watch all us race on Tuesday nights. If you're watching this and you don't watch us race, it's kind of weird, but go watch us race on Tuesday nights, about 8:15 Eastern. Good time. Nashville Super Speedway this week. I don't know. Try and spoil the party, I guess.
It'll be fun.
Go win a race or something. I'm gonna try.
Let's go for 20.
Yeah. Well,
15th, baby. You gotta stay up at 15th.
The last time we were there, you tried some fuel strategy shit and almost won. So,
yeah.
You were like, what, 10 laps? You got caught. I think I caught you with 10 to go.
10
to go or
10,
something
9
like
to go.
Yeah.
Because me and John were together. Because me and you ran together, and then we got blistered by Jeremy and Hunter. Yeah. Because we finished 3rd and 4th.
Yeah. I'm fairly certain if I'd have pit 5 laps later, I could have held on, but probably not. Yeah. Turn 200. Watch us race. The NASCAR Knockout's coming back soon, which is going to be awesome. I've heard that through the grapevine. Might see me on it. I don't know. And then shout out Motor Stardom. RJ doing great work on Instagram. He has his own website now. He's been doing interviews on YouTube. I want to say he talked to Tommy Joe Martins this past week. I think I saw that on Instagram. I haven't gotten a chance to. I don't get a chance to watch YouTube much unless it's literally when I'm going to bed. So I can't get into something when I'm going to bed, or I'll be up the whole night. But I'm gonna find time to watch it. That's gonna be awesome. RJ is he's already a big deal, but he is gonna be huge. So go follow him. Obviously, already is huge, and yeah, we gotta have him on the podcast. I'm gonna message him actually. So yeah, thanks Eric for coming on. Thanks Luke for being my co-host last second. And anything else? Thumbs up for thumbnails. Anybody got anything else?
No, I think that's it.
We're done. Peace.
Lucas,
What I say there, EB?
what are you doing?
Ah, well, we went to farmer's market this morning. Got some steaks and some pork and some bacon. Old guy bought some fresh trout, so I got that in the freezer. And some bread the wife wanted, and then came back and was napping while watching qualifying. So I can't go a day without having caffeine. If I don't have Mountain Dew, I'm hateful.